Welcome everybody. Today being the Teachers' Day, I wish you all a happy Teachers' Day. And I call upon all my teachers to be present with us in this entire class for today. With their grace, with their Shaktipat, to be available to us, to bestow us with their grace, to bestow us with their blessings. Here we are going to talk about a very, very ancient text known as Shiva Sutras. Everybody can hear me clearly right now? Thumbs up, no, yes, perfect, thank you. So, Shiva Sutras is one of the most important texts of our lineage known as Tantra or Kashmir Shaivism. And it is said that Vasugupta, who was the person who brought out these Shiva Sutras to us in this realm, had a dream one night, and Shiva came in his dream and he said, Vasugupta, go behind that mountain known as the Mahadev mountain, which is there in Kashmir right now, near Nishat Gardens, in fact, just behind Srinagar. And below that, there's a stream flowing over there. Go towards that stream, and as you walk by, a rock will overturn itself. And under that rock, dear Vasugupta, said Shiva, are my sutras themselves. And so did amazing Master Vasugupta abided by that dream. He walked that stream and literally like magic, this one huge rock. If you're in Srinagar at any moment of time, this rock is behind, near the stream, behind our ashram known as Ishwar Ashram itself. One can still go and visit this rock, by the way. You won't be able to see what's written on it, of course, because I'm talking about 2000 years back. But that rock still exists, known as Vasugupta's rock, where Shiva Sutras were written. In these Shiva Sutras, there were three kinds of upayas or awakenings that were given to mankind. Three awakenings. First awakening is known as Shambhavopaya, which is known as the path of Shiva to awaken ourselves. That chapter we have already finished in Shiva Sutras. The second chapter started about just a couple of weeks back, and we are on the second sutra. The second awakening or the second chapter is known as Shaktopaya. Shaktopaya is upayas of Shakti herself or energy herself, or the means of energy through which one can liberate themselves. And this sutra tells us what exactly is the body, how exactly knowledge is there in us all, spiritual knowledge is there in us all, and how to explore it, and how exactly to utilize this Shakti and utilize mantras associated with this Shakti to realize the self. So here we come across this amazing sutra. Now, don't worry about you missing out on the first awakening or the first chapter, because all these sutras are like seeds. And these are seeds that are sown into you. Whatever your level, maybe you're a beginner level, your intermediate level, or your advanced level as a practitioner, it doesn't matter really, because these sutras being seeds can fructify right now or in later stages of our lives as well. Our work here is to hear out this sutra, listen to this sutra carefully, and understand this sutra carefully as well. And once you understand this sutra, not in its totality, because only through meditation we will be able to unfold this sutra completely. But right now, linguistic uh, application of this sutra or understanding of this sutra, we will try to go for that itself. And now, where we have to understand that what does this sutra say firstly? Firstly, this sutra says that Vidya Sharira Satta, Vidya Sharira Satta, Mantra Rahasyam. Sutras are very, very short in nature, by the way, because one can, um, one does not need that much of practice and recitation to have this sutra continuously flow into our minds. So this Shaktopaya, or the path of Shakti, in the second awakening says Vidya Sharira Satta Mantra Rahasyam. Now, mantras and this body, we have to understand firstly, like, word by word. Vidya means knowledge. But in Shaktopaya, knowledge is not something that is acquired from a YouTube channel or external sources, but it is a direct realization that arises from within. Taking in knowledge from books, taking in knowledge from YouTube videos or Google, from an article is good. Of course, it's good because that's also knowledge at the end of the day. But I wouldn't call it knowledge. I would just merely call it information. When this information is taken inward and then processed inward, and when we introspect on this information, then it turns to become knowledge. It's an internal process. It's not an external process, but it's an internal process that is happening inside of you. So this direct experience of whatever knowledge that you're taking, specifically spiritual knowledge, one has to have a direct realization of that knowledge. Otherwise, these are just mere linguistic words. It's just information for that matter. The seeker has to, the sadhaka has to dwell very, very deep into their own consciousness, discovering that the vidya or this knowledge is an innate aspect of their beings. Information only then turns into knowledge. Otherwise, it's mere information. Now, this vidya is always there within us. This spiritual knowledge, no, my friends, even if we are taking the spiritual knowledge from the external perspectives, from YouTube, from books, from me as well at this very moment of time, though you are taking it from the external perspective, once you contemplate and introspect over it, over this information, it turns into knowledge. And that's a very innate process. It's your process. It's not my process. Whatever this word vidya means to say today to you, recognize it. But this vidya or this knowledge, this spiritual knowledge that is coming to you, it's the innate nature of your being. You are always primed to have this knowledge within yourselves. That's why you're here right now taking this knowledge. Your entire existence was primed for you to listen to this sutra, to understand this sutra itself. The entire universe and its working has worked for your favor, in your favor, to take this Vidya. So it's not an external effort, it's an internal effort that you have applied also to be present in this class. It's an amalgamation of the entire existence and your effort together, from which knowledge is given out to you. Now, this is what I mean by Vidya, spiritual knowledge. You're never away from it, my friends. You all, at this very moment, have abundance of spiritual knowledge. You're never less in spiritual knowledge. But what blocks it? Gyana or Vidya or this spiritual knowledge is there inside us all. But what blocks it is ignorance, not aura blockages. Ignorance. What blocks it is your conditioning or samskaras. We try to make it a point that only this mundane life exists, which is fed to you by the senses. And we condition ourselves that only this is the nature of reality. No, Parul, trauma, no. Trauma is nowadays this garland that people wear. I have to say to that. Garland that people wear to stay in their comfort zones. Oh, I have this trauma. Oh, I have that trauma. You don't have trauma. It's just the perception that you're carrying from an experience and its conditioning happening to you. Yes, false narrative maybe. And that false narrative is I'm impure. There is no purity inside of me. If I do this and if I do that, I will become pure. My friends, you are that consciousness. But I'm not going to get very deep into these samskaras because my Patanjali Yoga Sutras class is coming up from Saturday onwards, which will go deeper into samskaras and conditionings and how they get applied to the superimposed onto the human mind itself. Let's stick to the entire process of Sharira. This physical body, its existence, is a very beautiful reality. But many of us get conditioned that this life is full of suffering. No, my friends, life may be full of pains, but pain is inevitable. But suffering, as Buddha says, suffering is a choice. Pain might be there, but how much do you suffer from that pain is completely and totally your choice. So this ignorance that I am not full, ignorance of likes and dislikes and conceptualizations which you are bound to as well, that is also a part of ignorance. And then the actions that you take to fulfill that void that is there inside of you, that I am less, I'm not, I'm like, you have these self doubts and you have conditionings and all these things as well. This body, as Neetaji is saying, is always changing. And so are you. Shakti is very, very dynamically playing inside this body at this very moment. And Shakti's nature is change at the end of the day. Every moment to moment, you are changing. And along with that body which is changing, knowledge is also changing from the superimposition of concepts that you're holding inside of yourselves. Specifically, the wrong concepts that you hold inside of yourselves. So we have to look at this body, the physical body, not only the physical body, the sukshma sharira of thought processes as well. Not only this gross body, but subtle body where thoughts are produced as well. There are 5 kinds of bodies. We know them as koshas. And these koshas are 5 subtle bodies, like, one gross body and 4 subtle bodies. They get superimposed by samskaras or by these conditionings that you hold with yourselves. But are you originally only the body? Yes, you are the body. Yes, you are the mind. Kashmir Shaivism does not, or Trika Tantra does not refute the body. Kashmir Shaivism says the body is an existence, a physical existence, and proof that consciousness and energy both can exist, coexist together with each other. Recognize this. We never say, I'm not the body. We say we are that divine body given to us by the Lord itself. We have this divine mind of ours which takes us towards the Lord itself. People say that the mind is the culprit, mind is the culprit, mind is the culprit. This body is an illusion. No, the Trika Tantra says no. Wait a second. Energy and consciousness come together to create this sharira or the body. And this body is the holder of knowledge. Don't you think so? Right or wrong, we'll talk about that later. But this body is the one which is storing the memory of this sutra being explained to you as well, no, in some time. You were taught 2 plus 2 equals 4. That is also knowledge. You were taught in your childhood, when you go to the mandir, say namaste. Do namaste. That is also knowledge. But where are you holding this knowledge? Where are you holding this vidya that has been given to you? In the construct of the body-mind, you hold this. So vidya, sharira, satta. Satta means where is the seat of this knowledge? Now imagine if this body and the mind was not there. If this body and the mind was not there, would energy have any working wherever it can work? No, of course not. So even that energy and that consciousness require a body, require the mind to become the container of that knowledge. Vidya, Sharira, Satta. The next 2 words are very precious as well. Everybody clear and understood what exactly I'm trying to say here? My, so much energy in this group. Nobody does this also. Nobody does that also. So much energy we have out here. So much Shakti. Wake up. Wake up from your slumber. Be a little bit active. What is this? Kashmir Shaivites' treasure is not this. They are very, very powerful in nature. Those who haven't put their videos on, please put them on right now. What am I here to speak to black screens or what? And if you don't feel like doing that, bye-bye. If you're not even taking that much effort, bye-bye. This Sangha is not for people who have less energy. If you're giving in effort, put in 100% effort, otherwise not. And put that effort in by clicking that video and putting it on as well for this moment. Arunima, you know what to do otherwise. Thank you. Okay. So this Vidya Sharira Satta, have you understood what exactly it means to say till now? The body is required as to become the container of knowledge itself. Otherwise, in a non-existent state, where is knowledge coming? Where is knowledge going? Of course, Neetaji. Now the body becomes the medium of that knowledge. And this itself is a mantra rahasya, as we call it. Mantra rahasya. What do we mean by mantra rahasya? Firstly, let's understand satta also. Vidya and sharira we understood completely. Satta is existence itself. This satta is the manifestation of the divine, this body and the mind, a conglomeration of both, is this satta, manifestation of the divine itself. In Shaktopaya, the sadhaka realizes that the entire universe is not separate from this body, not separate from this mind. Even if I have to go towards the divine, and if I have to say this is, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, then we are denying the creation of this consciousness and energy. It is a divine play, you know, this entire body and the mind is a very, very divine play. And it's satta, it's the confirmation that this divine exists. That intricate dance of energy and consciousness that is happening to you inside of you right now, very evidently. Thus, with this body and with this mind, the seeker or the sadhaka becomes a participant in this cosmic symphony of life itself. Next two words, mantra rahasya. Mantra is not merely japa, my friends, or recitation of some shloka. Mantra is not that. Shubhanshi says, like satta, I got confused. Satta is where everything becomes, like, you know, I spoke about that container, no? Like water sits in a bottle. Vidya, Sharira, Satta. This body becomes the container of this Vidya. No. Body and the mind are not separate, Subhanshi ji. They are one. Buddha used to call it body-mind. He never used to differentiate the two. Pain is a sensation that comes in the mind, but it happens in the body, you know, when you pinch yourself. So the entire knowledge or this Vidya becomes concentrated and established in the Sharira or the body. The body needs to exist for this, for the existence of knowledge as well. If your body was not there, where the container of knowledge will be? Mind is not separate from this body. I touch here, I feel the sensation, no? But the sensation is a synapse of the mind actually. But if I touch here, I feel that touch, the sensation is experienced immediately. So Vidya Sharira Satta, Mantra Rahasyam. Now this mantra is not merely your japa or recitation of some Sanskrit shloka. Mantras are the instruments to focus the mind from 10-pointed awareness to single-pointed awareness. They are the keys that unlock the mystical realms of consciousness and energy. In Shaktopaya, the seeker learns to attune their consciousness to the vibrations of mantras, attuned completely, with prolonged and continuous practice. Prolonged and continuous practice of a mantra, the seeker can attune their consciousness to the vibrations that are created by the mantras themselves. Not merely doing Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. How's my bhai hasn't come today. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. How's my the portfolio looking today? Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, I'm suffering losses. Oh my, how can this be? Om Namah Shivaya. No, no, no. This will not get you anywhere. The entire body will need to vibrate with the Vidya or the knowledge of that mantra. Then only the secret of the mantra will be unfolded for you in totality. And this mantra, when it unfolds in its full nature, in totality for you, once that happens, it becomes a very sustainable force within this body and the mind. The force or the energy or the Shakti of that mantra becomes very, very potent in nature. The entire body-mind concept then starts vibrating with this energy of the mantra. Allows you to access deeper states where awareness and the divine are seen as one. Vidya Sharira Satta Mantra Rahasyam guides you to recognize that profound wisdom of Vidya is not separate from your physical or your spiritual body. It is the nature of your reality itself at this very moment. This Vidya, this profound wisdom is your true nature. Just that you are doubtful about it. That's ignorance. Leave this doubt. This sutra basically encourages you to engage into spiritual practices like meditation, self-inquiry, mantras, and directly experience this divine knowledge and unfold it for yourselves. Your prayatna, the last, in fact, this is the third sutra of the Shiva Sutra. The last sutra said, prayatna sadhaka. The effort is very, very important. If you don't put in the effort, the second sutra of Shaktopaya said, prayatna sadhaka. If you don't keep an ongoing effort, then there is nothing. And then this third sutra says, Vidya Sharira Satta Mantra Rahasyam. All that knowledge, what you seek, my friends, is already locked inside of you. The moment mantra means the instrument to bring that awareness and make it laser sharp, that happens to you. Then all this, that mantra unfolds or unlocks as the key to all these rahasyas, to all these mysteries of the universe. All that knowledge is there inside of you right now, as this very moment. But with your prayatna, with your effort only, which is prolonged and continuous, that you will be able to unlock the keys to the nature of your reality itself. And once that lock gets opened up, once that mystery gets solved, what happens? You become one with this cosmos, with this consciousness and energy, with Shiva and Shakti. You become one itself. What you thought about is the secret of all secrets was not at all a secret anymore. So you directly, with your effort that you put in, you directly experience this divine knowledge. You realize that Vidya is not a distant concept, but a living reality within your own beings. Your gross body and the spiritual body, both, and like, we call it Annamaya Kosha, which is this gross body, then the Pranamaya Kosha or life force, which goes, the Shakti, Prana Shakti, which flows inside this body, then the Manomaya Kosha, which is the mind and the thought energy of the body, Vigyanamaya Kosha, which is actually the inert intuition and the knowledge that you hold inside yourself, are not away from you. It's your intrinsic nature. Your entire body, if you put in an effort, becomes a vehicle for that direct experience of the divine knowledge. And mantra becomes the sacred bridge between individual consciousness and the divine consciousness itself. I will stop here as far as today's explanation towards this sutra is concerned. And we are going to move towards our regular practice of meditation. Today's meditation is going to be pretty short in nature. And as we are studying Shaktopai, Shaktopai is basically further expounded. Shiva Sutras, it comes in first, and then Vigyana Bhairava Tantra. Shaktopayas are explained. And one of the Shaktopayas is very, very simple, which Shiva tells Devi in Vigyana Bhairava Tantra. Listen to a sound of a metal stringed instrument. Listen to a sound of a metal stringed instrument which has a continuous sound and repetitive sound, and realize. You will say, what exactly does this mean? Any metal stringed instrument. Can you guys name a few metal stringed instruments, please? Guitar, lovely. Yeah. Sitar, guitars, yes. Sarod, veena. Singing bowl, no, it's not a stringed instrument. Violin, of course. There are so many of them. Cello is there. Go on, Santur, beautiful. Go ahead. Harmonica, no. Harp, yes, Martina. Veena, Tanpura. So many beautiful stringed instruments, no? But you hear that vibration created from this stringed instrument goes where? Come on. The vibration reaches to the ear first. Ear is one of the senses, correct? Hearing is one of the senses. Am I correct? Can ear hear all by itself? Can the ear hear all by itself? No. Not possible, no? You cut this ear and keep it somewhere. Will it be able to hear? No. So what does it require is Shakti or energy. That energy has to be located towards that ear itself to hear a particular sound. So you see what Shiva is trying to tell Devi in Vigyana Bhairava Tantra, and what do we mean by Shaktopai is you have to apply the energy of hearing of this sound instrument, of this stringed instrument of sound, which has a continuous and repetitive sound. You get my point here? So today's meditation is going to be very, very simple. You just sit with your eyes closed and the application will go towards hearing of the Tanpura music what I play for the next 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. Whenever the mind goes here and there and goes into unnecessary thought processes, gently, my friends, gently guide yourself back to hearing of the sound of this Tanpura. Gentle guidance. Everybody clear on that? Not so difficult, no this? My, so much energy. Yes or no? Ha. So, just listen today. Whenever the mind goes fluctuating here and there, just bring it back to the listening of the sound. Can that be very, very easy? Yeah? Perfect. So today we are going to do a Shaktopai, a pure Shaktopai from a Vigyan Bhairava, from our text known as Vigyana Bhairava Tantra. Listen to a metal stringed instrument which has a sound that is continuous and repetitive, and realize, says Shiva to Devi. Just that. Okay? Perfect. Sit in a posture which is comfortable firstly. And when you have sat down comfortably, if you want to take a back rest, take a back rest. Don't need to sit very strictly out here. Just be very relaxed, very comfortable. In Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Sage Patanjali says, Sthira Sukham Asanam. The posture should be still and comfortable. That's it. That's all he talks about asana. Still and comfortable. And when that stillness and comfort is achieved, he says, pranayama ensues. The breath will be regulated when the body is still and comfortable. Autonomously it will happen. So sit still. Sit comfortably. And once you have assumed this posture which is still and comfortable, close your eyes, please. And just listen to this sound for the next 20 minutes or so. And allow this Shakti that you have innately inside of yourself, which gives you the power to hear, engage it in totality. If the mind goes here and there, just gently guide yourself back to listening. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Matreya Namah. Let us begin. gathering all this awareness and bliss. And recognize your own nature as consciousness and energy, Shiva and Shakti. Bring your attention to this physical realm of the body itself. Complete and total awareness on the body. Breathe in deep. Exhale fully. Breathe in deep. Exhale fully. Breathe in deep. Exhale fully. Rub the palms of your hands together, generating heat. Put them over your face, your eyes, sliding them to the top of the head, to the back of the head, coming down the neck, around the neck into a pose of Namaste at the heart center. Bowing down to the planet Earth, the Ma, Prithvi, and thank her for this life itself. Thanking Adi Shakti Mahamaya Kundalini for manifestation of this entire creation itself. And extending to yourself towards the skies, thanking Paramashiva for being the light of consciousness itself. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Matreya Namah. Gently, gently open your eyes. Thank you very, very much. Sharing about today's meditation or questions if you have any, feel free to ask. You'll need to raise the hand if you want to share or ask a question. Raise the hand on the Zoom app itself. There is an option. And then I can tell you to unmute yourself and you may ask me or share. Harish, unmute yourself, please, and come on the video.
Yeah. Namah Shivaya, Amitabhji.
Namah Shivaya, Harish, how are you?
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. It was a real amazing experience. After a long time, I was able to attend it due to a health constraint. I had a lot of jerks all throughout, all over the body, and for a momentary, for some time, I had lost senses totally. It was amazing feeling. I could only experience, no words to express.
Now, no, Harishji, we have to go towards who is experiencing. Who is that experiencer? You recognize this, that this upaya or this means to meditate.
Okay.
Did you apply any kind of thing there? No, but it still takes you there.
Yes,
Such
yes.
is the power of Paramashiva's words spoken to Devi in the Vigyana Bhairava.
Okay.
Each of these upayas, all 112 of these techniques, are the direct doorways to God consciousness itself. Just by listening to a metal sound instrument, if it can take us there, then why to? I always say this, Harishji, nowadays, that the world and the life is very, very complicated. Your sadhana should not be complicated. If that becomes complicated, you'll lose it.
Absolutely. You always say this. Absolutely. I agree.
You know, so this sadhana should be as simple to follow without any complications involved. Why to have complications in the sadhana? Just sit down, relax. They are always there to respond to us. Hai na, Harish ji? Thank you very much for sharing. And if any question, please feel free to ask as well.
Nothing at all as of now. Nothing
No,
at all.
no questions is also a very good
No.
thing to.
Thank you.
Thank you, ji. Sumana Ghosh, please unmute yourself, ji.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, absolutely, I can. Om Namah Shivaya.
Namaste. Om Namah Shiva, and a very happy Teachers' Day. Sir, Guruji, I would like to share my experience of meditating today. It was last day also when I meditated. It was a great experience. I couldn't share it that day. But today, the very sound in my ears, after a while, I felt a certain numbness, as if I'm going lighter, my body weight, as if I'm unable to feel it. And I felt a certain emotion, which, I felt like crying, but it was somewhere gone off. Still, I'm feeling, but not that strong urge that tears will pour down, but it is there. And suddenly I felt as if I'm swinging and I got scared. I opened my eyes. I thought it's an earthquake somewhere. I looked around to find everything is normal. Everything was normal. I'm still, I am getting goosebump over my body. That feeling is, I can't explain by words, but these are the things. And at one point of time, there was a little bit of fear in me, which, insisted me in my mind to open my eyes and look around. What was that fear all about? I don't know. And why that feeling of getting lighter, I have no answer to this. But these are my experience while meditating today.
Okay, Sumana. The power of Shaktipata or the yogic transmission, Shaktipat as we can call it, is exactly this, that we pick you up and dip you into that ocean of consciousness directly. The vibrations that you felt, the disappearance of the body and the mind that you felt inside of yourself is a telltale sign of you dipping into that um, ocean of consciousness and coming back. But because we haven't experienced anything as such, Sumanaji, the mind body is a little scared of it. So never have fears. Spirituality is the path of the fearless, as we call it. No, so have no fears, because it is the Shakti and Shiva both being very present in these sessions to provide you their grace at the end.
Hmm.
We call it Anugraha or Shaktipat. And this Anugraha, one needs to go towards. That's why we are all here for, no, Sumana?
Yes, sir.
So be into that. That's all. If the fear comes up, tell it like, I see you. From a third point perspective, I see you coming up, staying for a while, and then leaving.
I didn't
I have to
understand
be
that.
scared about when Shiva and Shakti are with me at this very moment, as consciousness and energy running inside of me at this very moment. Who should I be scared of? These fears are very superficial in nature. Drop
Okay,
them
sir.
as soon as they appear. Give that a smile. Next time that fear comes up, no, give it a smile from my end and say,
I
there you
I will try that.
there you are. I see you.
Yes.
Yeah, and you'll see that that fear has disappeared almost immediately. So perfect. You are on that amazing path, and you just dipped into that space and came out.
For a very short period of time.
Have you seen a swan ever? Have you
Yes.
seen a swan? Yeah.
Yes.
So like the swan peeking up into that reality, looking here and there and coming back down, going under the water again. That's what the experience. That's why most of, like, we have Paramahansa as a great sage's name is always Paramahansa.
Correct.
Now that Hansa has appeared, or that swan has appeared, And it will be able to recognize, it can separate milk from water, you know. A swan has the ability to separate milk from water. That means in spiritual terminologies, it means you can separate truth from falseness. And that fear is that falseness. You'll be able to separate it from the truth that that energy and consciousness is at this very moment. Okay. Yes, you were to say something.
Sir, sometimes I don't know. I don't know how I will be sounding if I say this. I feel I can see certain visuals. I feel certain presence. These are the things which puts that fear factor in me. But
Okay,
then there is nothing.
let me put it this way. Okay, we have been given a mantra by my Guruji's Guruji. It says, Aghorebhyo Thagorebhyo. In the darkness, you are my Lord, and in the light also you are there, my Lord. Aghorebhyo Thagorebhyo. Ghora Ghora Taribhyascha. You are there present, my Lord. There is absence of light and darkness, and presence of light and darkness as well. Aghorebhyo Thagorebhyo. Ghora Ghora Taribhyascha. Sarvatah Sharva Sarvebhyo. I see you everywhere, my Lord. Sarvatah Sharva Sarvebhyo. I see you in everything, my Lord. Namaste Rudra Rupebhya. Why should I be worried and be afraid of anything? I see you everywhere. You are there in everything. Why? What is there to be afraid of?
Yes, Guruji.
Don't be afraid. Shiva is everywhere. Shakti is everywhere. So,
yes, Guruji.
If any presence is occurring, like, I always say, like, thank you for joining me in my meditation. Take this grace.
Wow, Guruji.
Take this grace of the Lord and go where you have.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all there is to it.
Yes.
Rest of the sensations and everything like that, sensations and sometimes the heart rate will go up as well during meditation. Not only it goes down, sometimes the energy rises and the heart rate also starts going upward. Don't be afraid. Your oscillations will happen, yawnings will come, tears will flow. Allow all that. That is all grace. That is the work of the meditation itself. Specifically in this Sangha, I may say. Okay?
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much. That was so much clearer now onwards.
Thank you. Neeta ji, namaste. Om Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
I felt that I'm going towards light. There was very sharp light, and all the lights were penetrating in my body, and there were a lot of vibration. And after the vibration, I felt that I'm very calm, and I was thoughtless, and I felt that I was going towards zero.
So, Neeta ji, we always say that there is never a zero. Consciousness is filled with energy, energy is filled with consciousness. Shiva and Shakti both are together. They cannot be separated from each other because entire existence itself may collapse. They cannot exist without each other. That is the nature. That is what we are taught in our Tantra practices. That Shiva and Shakti cannot be separated. This consciousness and energy cannot be separated. This vibration, what you feel inside, we call it spanda. Actually, it's not there, but you feel it still very, very strongly. You may feel it. Yes. And the entire universe, Neetaji, is throbbing with this spanda at this very moment. Check your heart. Throbbing with this spanda. At this very moment, it's throbbing with that energy, throbbing with that consciousness. So there is never a zero. Consciousness always has this tiny little vibration within itself, dancing cosmically.
Okay.
Allow
Like
that.
that time, my whole body was very calm,
Right.
and and after sometimes I feel cold, in my
Shivers
body.
going up and down the spine. That is all
Yes,
Shakti,
yes,
all Mata. Ma
yeah,
there, very, very evident, making herself present through this Shakti path.
correct. It's a very great experience. Thank you, Guru.
And keep dipping into it, Neetaji. That's the most important thing to do. All
Right.
I ask for my students is just you meditate daily or don't meditate daily. That is also done. That doesn't matter. But attend this Thursday Sangha.
Yes, sure.
What happens when you attend this Thursday Sangha is very, very beautiful, you know.
Right.
The Shiva and Shakti make themselves present to you. Then where are you going? Then you're sometime later, after 4 to 5 weeks, you'll say, like, I love that experience. Why don't I dip into that experience again and again and again and again? Thus, your daily practice also improves.
Okay. Can I do it by myself?
Absolutely. But like, next Thursday, I will give you a proper diksha. There will be a
Okay.
proper diksha given with a mantra as well. Do it with that. Till then, Tanpura C sharp on YouTube and sit.
Okay. Okay. Thank,
Just that.
thank you very much.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Mami.
Manisha ji, namaste. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya,
How
Amitabh.
are you? How is Pune doing?
Good. It is doing well. Actually, I wanted to share the first sutra, the practice. I just wanted to share that the experience by itself is one thing. What happens after the experience is even more wonderful. I have realized that I have become very much, I wouldn't say critical, but very watchful of what I'm thinking. What are my motivations for thinking? I can now see, the ego coming up, how the mind plays around with you, how you kind of
Ego, no, Manisha ji, is taken into very high consideration as far as
okay,
Shaivism is concerned, Manisha ji. We don't deny the ego, we don't destroy the
yeah,
ego at all.
okay,
We just transmute it
yes,
from being an individual ego to becoming the universal ego,
yes,
where everything comes out of and everything is dissolved, is that ego, that I amness.
means I have to leave a lot of things behind.
Giving to you right now with that I amness. Am I correct?
Yes,
Without this sense of I amness, there is nothing. Yeah. Now, as I was talking about Shaktis here, there is Ghora Shakti, which is taking you towards downwards spiraling.
yes,
Upward Shakti is taking you towards the rising of into your consciousness and energy.
yes,
Yeah. This up and down motion is always happening, no, for all of us.
yes, yes,
Bad thoughts, self-doubts, fears. So whenever that happens, we have to become alert and aware. And like, as I said, as you said, that first sutra itself explained
yes.
it all, no?
Mana mantra.
Just be.
Yes. So thank you for that.
ये भी सही है. This downward spiraling also, ये भी सही है. Just be in that, and like, it naturally will improvise and purify things within this.
Okay.
Um, Neeta
Thank
ji,
you
I
so much.
need to mute yourself 1 second. Yeah. So within, when we put that fire of awareness inside that downward spiraling nature of our being, when we apply awareness, 90% of the job, Manisha ji, is done. No, we don't need to do this and do that. Just putting awareness, that thing has burnt away.
Correct.
A homa has taken place of that thought process. It may occur again. Again, apply awareness. Again, it will burn. application must go on. ये भी सही है.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, जी. Parul, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. My question was with respect to awareness. Like, aren't we all experiencing at some level past through our perception? Because by the time we, let's say, touch something or smell something, and it goes to our brain, and then it perceives it, and then comes forth to our awareness where we experience it. That's all past.
Recognition is later, Parul.
Could you elaborate on that?
Happens with the support of language, linguistics. Am I correct?
Correct.
What's the awareness? That you've lifted a flower and taken it to your nose. Awareness of the flower and awareness of the smell comes first. The fragrance comes first. Then the recognition happens inside, whether it's a good fragrance or a bad fragrance.
But even the processing of the smell itself, like for you to recognize even the smell,
Objective
it would
energy,
take some.
objective energy is outside of you. Subjective energy is inside of you. Cognitive energy is the bridge between the two. Does that clear?
I'll have to think about this a little bit more than
Objective
come back.
energy, the object has energy, no? The flower itself has energy within itself, has consciousness within itself as well. Objective energy and subjective energy. But what do we need it as a bridge in between is the cognitive energy, no? Cognition is required. That cognition is known as awareness, which forms a bridge between object and subject. Think about this. We'll discuss this later.
Yeah. Thank you.
We also say prakasha or the illumination is always there. Object is illuminated in front of me right now as this phone. Object is there. But that illumination, if it was not there, and the cognition of that object is not there, then what the subject will happen? Nothing.
No recognition.
Now it becomes clear to you.
It does.
Prakasha, Vimarsha. Welcome to Trika. Okay. Aishwarya, namaste. Kashi ahes?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. Happy Teachers Day. Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah. Usually I asked you individually only, but today, fortunately, that subject has arisen where Sumana has asked question, and then you said sometimes heartbeats might raise. So around a week ago, I experienced the same. It was a huge heartbeats. I felt like heart is not inside me. I am inside heart.
Yes,
That
you are.
was this throbbing. Yeah,
You are
I
inside
was
the heart
that.
of this reality. We call it Pratyabhidnya Hridayam. The entire reality is the heart beating spanda itself.
So that heartbeat's voice was not in my ear. That was on my whole body.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like, and then once that is done, and there was a firecracker, electricity wire was here. Srrr, zoop. And then whole brightness and light. I usually share this with you on a WhatsApp individually. This is first
I know.
time I'm doing it in front of everyone. So, and then light. I was like, wow, let me enjoy this now. After And then I was super hungry. I was super hungry, and then me and I we went down, and then I had a huge bunch of poha, and then I slept. But then there
काहीतरी
was
प्रोटीन खायचं ऐश्वर्या.
खूप
कार्बोहायड्रेट्स
भूक
नाही खायचे.
लागली. खूप भूक लागली मला नंतर प्रचंड.
कार्बोहायड्रेट्स नाही खायचे, प्रोटीन शेक घ्यायचं तेव्हा एक. ठीक आहे.
ओके ओके येस.
ओके.
आता तेही चालूच आहे. अंजीर खजूर भिजून त्याचं दूध वगैरे पिते कारण की मी शुगर बऱ्यापैकी आता कट डाऊन
एकदा
केली
मला
आहे.
फोन करा, एकदा मला फोन करा. You know that I have my masters in fitness sciences. I'll give you
येस
the perfect program to lose weight also. Okay?
येस येस ओके डन. थँक्यू.
Welcome.
One more I wanted to share, but I don't know whether I should share it here or not. चालेल चालेल ना. Yeah. So around 2 days ago, again, but this was very beautiful. And then right in between my two eyebrows, click, 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 and some pictures, creatures, very creative, very beautiful. I've never seen it anywhere in my life.
Yogamayi Vismayo Bhumika. Every time the union happens with me and the Lord and the Devi, it leaves me in an awe of it. Wow, awesome. What was that all about? Every day, till date, till date in my sadhana, I come out just like you people come out of your sadhana. Wow, what was that all about? The same way I also come out after 28 years of sadhana. I also come out the same way still. That's why that sutra is there in Shiva Sutra says Yogamai Vismayo Bhumika. Vismaya happens and wow, what was that? You're like a child experiencing, these things. First time ever, first time ever, first time ever. And it still is happening first time ever. What should I say? Khatam hi nahi honda. So that awesomeness, that childlike wonder has to be maintained by the sadhaka. Otherwise, what? I have reached here. No, no, no. Shaivism says you're still a child of mine. Shiva says you're still a child of mine. I want you to experience this and that and this and that. That which cannot be even be told with words. I want you to experience that. That is the nature. He becomes very happy and he says let me show him the milk of the bird. Now, we'll leave it to that. Okay. So you see that Vismaya now on your face? That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Thank you very much. And that's that for today. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Matreya Namaha. I bow down to the divinity in you. Stay smiling, stay blessed, stay in bliss. That's all I can say. Thank you.